Hey guys, welcome back. Last night, the Los Angeles Clippers and Denver Nuggets played their Game 7, and I just quickly wanted to give a demonstration on what I saw last night. Say hi to Jimmy. This is my assistant, Jimmy. Jimmy, say hi. Okay. These are the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm the Denver Nuggets. Basically, what happened was Denver said, "What I tell you, you thought you was gonna come in here and high altitude, 5,000 feet above sea level, and thought you was gonna win this Game 7? Hell nah." All right. I hope you're happy with my demonstration, because that's what I saw last night. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but yeah. Welcome back to the MC show, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy. Last time I was here, there was still a lot of playoff series going on, and a lot of them are now over. We're gonna touch on a few of those playoff series that have ended so far, and at the end, we're gonna talk about Game 7, which is today between the Rockets and the Warriors, and we're gonna do a little bit of a preview on the second round matchup, because the second round series also starts today, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. But as always, before we do that, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We slowly getting up there. Like a week or two ago, I was at 27 subscribers. Now I'm at like 36. I may not be a lot to you, but it's a lot to me. So let's keep building. I appreciate all the support that I get. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep showing love, keep sharing this video. Tell your friends, family to watch me, because you're not going to get this kind of stuff on ESPN. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. Okay? But anyways, we don't got to go that much into it. The Denver Nuggets win by 19 points. They were up by, I want to say, as many as 30 or 31. That from this middle of the second quarter to towards the end of the second quarter on, they just went on once they reached like 10, 12 points, the lead grew all the way to 30, and in the third quarter, and they just ran away with the game. A couple things. I thought the Clippers defense was a step slow the entire night, especially when the Nuggets started pouring it on offensively. They were just a step slow the entire night. And a lot of it was Denver. We all know. Maybe you don't know. The Denver Nuggets were the best fast breaking team in the league this season. Averaged the most points on a fast break. When Denver gets on a fast break, you better watch out. So you need to have good transition defense, and the Clippers a lot of times did not. I remember Jokic getting an and one. I remember Michael Porter Jr. getting a couple threes in the third quarter to really extend the lead past 20. Jamal Murray got a layup. Christian Brown, like from the start, Christian Brown got a wide open dunk on a fast break off of Nikola Jokic head pass. Their defense wasn't as sharp as it has been the entire season. And then on the other end, they're not scoring enough to even keep up with the offense. They shot really bad from three. Kawhi was good. He gives you 22 points. Obviously, in the Game 7, you'd want more. You get like 12 points from Bogdanovich, but the starters, 10 points from Zubac, that's not enough. Norman Powell gives you 9 points. That's not enough. And yes, James Harden, another playoff stinker. Now, James Harden to me is a better playoff, a little bit, just a little bit. Don't take my words out of context. He's a little bit of a better playoff performer that I think his reputation. Hold on, I feel like this is not even centered. Okay, that's better. I feel like he's a little bit of a better playoff performer than consensus, but he does. Nobody can ignore the fact that he has a lot of playoff stinkers, and this was one of them. 7 points, if I remember correctly. I have it right here. 7 points, 13 assists, which was good. He was passing well, but Kawhi was given as much offense as he could. He needed somebody else to score. That's on James Harden. He did not show up. 2 of 8 from the field. At least it's not like 2 for 11 or 4 for 11. He has a lot of those for some reason. But playoff stinker for James Harden. I don't ever want to hear James Harden and Dwayne Wade conversations ever again. I keep seeing all on social media, James Harden is better than D Wade. We gonna the conversation is, every year you hear that conversation, and in every year that conversation looks stupid by the end of the season. Stop bringing that conversation up. We all know who's better. James Harden is a great player. He's an all-time great offensive player. He has a ton of points. He's second all-time in threes, but he's not D Wade. Okay, D Wade got the championships. He got the Finals MVP. Let's slow down. Let's slow down. The Clippers looked slow all night, and Denver looked like they had the energy. I guess people might look at it as, oh, Denver has the altitude or whatever, and maybe that's true. But they look sharp on both ends of the floor. I gotta shout out Russell Westbrook. I have to shout out Russell Westbrook and the rest of the role guys on the Denver Nuggets. 22 points for Eric Gordon. I thought he was fantastic offensively this entire series. You get 21 for Christian Brown, who struggled a little bit in the middle of the series. He wasn't giving you enough, but if Denver, I had said in a previous video, Denver role players had to step up, and they did tonight. Michael Porter Jr., who's playing through that shoulder sprain, you give him a bunch of credit. 15 points, again, hit 2 big threes to extend the lead past 20 in the third quarter. I thought he played as well as you can for somebody with a sprained shoulder. Jokic had 16, 10, and 8. He didn't have 50 points. He didn't have 40 points. He didn't have a 35-point game. But he was passing the hell out of the ball. He started, I want to say, 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 from the field, but he had like 4 assists in the first quarter. He was playing Nikola Jokic game, and Jamal Murray gives you 16. Russell Westbrook, 16 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 2 turnovers. I mean, Russell Westbrook this series, 41% from 3. That was big. That was absolutely big. He is the one guy. I mean, you leave Peyton Watson open too, and for most of his career, you leave Aaron Gordon open, although this season was his best three-point shooting season of his career. Russell Westbrook is someone you leave open. They were okay with him shooting threes, and he took them with confidence, and he made them. 13 of 31 in the series from 3. He still had, his moments where he would turn the ball over or play too fast, miss layups, but he was active on both ends of the floor. He gave them a real spark off the bench. With Michael Porter Jr. limited in the way he was, you needed someone to step up offensively because Michael Porter Jr. can't. His job is to score. And Russell Westbrook did that extremely well. 14 points off the bench, averaging this series. He was fantastic. He was a big part of why they won. That bench production was huge. I saw this. This is Russell Westbrook's first time out the first round since the bubble. Can you believe that? Since he was on the Houston Rockets. That was like 4 teams ago. I can't wait for that Denver OKC series, man. I haven't seen OKC play in like 5 years, it feels like. Because they smacked Memphis like this, like nobody's business. I haven't seen OKC playing. Dude, OKC know they're in the playoffs? Do they even know that? I don't know. They probably had a vacation. They haven't played in so long. They probably all went to like Cuba or something. Or went to the Bahamas. Or went to Turks and Caicos. I don't know. Quickly touch on a couple series that ended this past week. You got, we're going to start with Boston and Orlando. Orlando loses in 5 games to the Boston Celtics. Man, if Orlando can just get some offensive punch, bro, they could be a really good team. They just need some scoring. The front office, please give Paolo and Franz some shooting. Please. Give them somebody who shoots high volume of threes, who could space the floor for them. Not someone who's like 35. We need someone who's like 39, 40% from 3. Where are you going to get that person? I don't know. But you need someone to space around those two. Banchero averaged 29 this series. He averaged 29 last year. Like, he can perform in the playoffs. He's still a young guy. This is only his 3rd year, but like, he showed up. Franz, I like him. I like Franz Wagner, man. He takes a lot of tough twos, as does Banchero. Banchero, if, a little less pull-ups, a little more paint. Paint offense, paint touches. would be like just my little shtick with him. But again, it's his third year. He has a bright future. But man, they need some offense. They really need some offense. But shout out to the Boston Celtics, man. My favorite thing, and I can't believe I'm saying this because like I'm a Heat fan. I don't want to say this about them, but I gotta give them my props. It's in my blood. It's in my blood. I must give them their props. You know. They found a way to win this series in 5 games without dominating the three-point line. The Orlando Magic were the best three-point defense in the league this season. They allowed the least amount of threes. They're a team that they don't help. If you want to score, you have to go score. They switch a lot one-on-one. You have to score one-on-one. They switch a lot on their defense. They are not leaving shooters. They're not. They might dig in to help a little bit, but they're not completely helping off his shooters because Boston has too many shooters. And Jason Tatum, I gotta give him his props. With a bone bruised in his wrist, I thought he was fantastic. He got to the free throw line. I thought he got to the paint. I thought he worked the mid-range a lot in this series. I thought he was extremely efficient. I remember in this series he broke John Havlicek's record for second most 30-point games in a Celtics uniform. Like, this guy, he showed up. He showed up without Drew Holiday. They don't need Drew Holiday now for the Orlando Magic because the Orlando Magic can't score. Not fully healthy. Jaylen Brown dealing with the bone bruise. Or is it a bone bruise? Whatever. Dealing with that knee injury that he's been dealing with since February. And Drew Holiday out. Like, he really let them. As a team, Boston, again, they didn't have three-pointer going. But they did. There were multiple times in games where, you know what? Porzingis is 7-3. Instead of Porzingis standing on a three-point line, why not Porzingis just roll to the basket? And I thought they had a lot of good looks when it was Porzingis getting to the basket, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum getting to the basket. They really got their offense going, and they had a 3 here, a 3 there. They sprinkled it in. It wasn't like a wave of threes. It was just on occasion, here or there. They did beat the crap out of the Magic in Game 5, but just this whole series, I thought it was very impressive the way that they really got their offense going, even though like Orlando made it extremely tough on them. So shout out to Orlando, but shout out to Boston. They play the Knicks, who is the next team that we're going to talk about. They win 4-2 against the Pistons. Jalen Brunson, wow. If you didn't know why Jalen Brunson was Clutch Player of the Year, well, this series should have showed you why. Because he had that nasty crossover on Asar Thompson, who was playing him fantastic that game, especially in the fourth quarter. I believe in the fourth quarter, I think I have this correct, Asar Thompson was, when guarding Jalen Brunson was 1 of 6 from the field. And that one shot was from that 3 that he hit. Amazing. Unfortunately, coming down on the other end, the Detroit Pistons don't get a shot off because Malik Beasley has butterfingers. That pissed me off, man. Because I think Malik Beasley really struggled from 3 in the series, but that game he was 6 of 13. He was knocking them down. Like, he could have knocked that down. Like, I would bet that he probably knocks that down over not knocking it down, because he was open. Like, Detroit ran a good play. They swung the ball around on the perimeter. Malik Beasley was open. He would have got the shot off clean, but he just fumbled it out of bounds, bro. He just fumbled it out of bounds. And so I know if you're a Pistons fan, you're probably like, listen, we should be in 7 games because they got cheated game 4. I agree. You guys did get cheated game 4. You got to give the Knicks credit, man. Jalen Brunson, although sometimes I have a problem with their offense, a lot of their offense is listen, Brunson, hold the ball and just do whatever. Sometimes there's not enough ball movement for me. But in the clutch, they won 50 games. I had said that in a previous video. They won 50 games because they played close in some of their games, and then Jalen Brunson took it home a lot. And you get clutch Brunson. You get in a game where Karl Anthony Towns only had 10 points, fouls out at the end in the fourth quarter. OG and Mikal Bridges really stepped up. This series when those two are hitting their shots at an efficient level, the team's offense, which was top 5 all year, it can be a little bit of a buzzsaw. Shout out to the Knicks, but also Cade Cunningham in his first playoff series. Gotta give him his props. Like, this guy, 4th year, all-star. He's gonna make an All-NBA team whenever those comes out within the next couple of weeks. Like, he was ready. He was inefficient. Obviously, when OG Anunoby is guarding you, you know, you're gonna be inefficient. But he was like, I thought he made clutch baskets. I thought Jalen Duren was fantastic. I think the pick and roll pairing of Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham, I thought was pretty devastating, especially for the fact that Karl Anthony Towns is not a good defender. Jalen Duren, he's a good passer out the short roll, I'll tell you that. He's a good passer out the short roll. You give it to him, you see Asar cut into the basket, you see somebody else cut into the basket, and he can make that pass. I like Jalen Duren. I like his future. Like, I always like Jalen Duren, but I like him way more now just because I saw something special. The pick and roll chemistry between him and Cade, I thought was really, really devastating, and something that they should keep doing a lot more often. Lakers, Wolves. They didn't listen to me. They didn't watch my videos. I said do this. I told them you have to do this if you want to beat the Timberwolves. They ain't do no. They didn't contest. They wasn't in their defensive stance. They didn't do none of that. Luka is a fantastic player. He is a top 5 player. But my God, the defense was atrocious. And I know he was sick one game, and in game 5 he did tweak his back a little bit, but there's times where you watch him and it's like a guy would get past him and he doesn't even fight. Like, he don't even be fighting, bro. Like, Jaden McDaniels is not an offensive player and had a great offensive series because Jaden McDaniels would have Luka guard him, and then Luka would just let him go by time and time again. And then you're putting pressure on LeBron or Dorian Finney-Smith to fly around to try to make plays when it's tiring. It's tiring. Like, you got to give JJ Redick his flowers because the last couple months of the season, he made a defensive system where it was high energy, a lot of flying around, a lot of backside help, a lot of backside defenses making plays. But you have to do that over and over and over and over again, having to cover up for Luka's defensive deficiencies is tiring, especially when one of the backline defenders is LeBron James, who's 40 years old. And you need him on the offensive side of the ball. Man, Luka was really, really bad on defense. He just has to move his feet a lot better. He's never gonna be a great defender, and not everybody is. Curry is not a great defender, but he's better than Luka. He's a good team defender, and he tries on defense. He tries on defense. People attack him just like how they attack Luka in the playoffs, and he holds up. He holds up a lot better than Luka has. Like, Luka, he just has to get better on defense. He has to slide his feet better. That's my main thing. He got to slide his feet. I know he's a slow-footed guy, but you got to be a little bit better than that. LeBron James, Austin Reeves. I thought Austin Reeves specifically wasn't good enough offensively. They also attacked him on defense. I thought he was uncomfortable at times. There were some times where he looked like he was cooking, but there were times where, you know what I'm saying, he wouldn't hit the shots that needed to be hit. And LeBron, I don't think he was bad, but I feel like in a lot of fourth quarters this game, I thought he just wasn't good enough. Again, maybe because he was tired, maybe because maybe he was dealing with that groin injury. You saw the report after Game 5 they lost that when he bumped knees with Dante DiVincenzo that he was he had an MCL sprain, so maybe he was limited. But Austin Reeves to me was a little bit more of a problem just because on both he can't score consistently throughout this series, and he was getting hunted on defense on the other side. For the Wolves, gotta give them their credit. You know, they were a good 3-point shooting team during the regular season. I know at least 2 of the games they shot awful from 3. In Game 5, they went through a period where they went and missed 18 straight threes in the fourth quarter. Not even in the fourth quarter, in the game. And then in the fourth quarter, they hit their first three. I forget if it was the Mike Conley three. And you can't talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves without talking about their threes, like star players. Anthony Edwards was absolutely fantastic this series. The best thing about Anthony Edwards in this series was he made fantastic decisions in the clutch. It's one of Anthony Edwards' biggest Achilles heel. He's still young. He's only in his fourth or fifth. I think it's his fifth year, but he turns the ball over a lot. If you go back to last series against the Dallas Mavericks in the conference finals, I can think of many a times, even especially in the first two games, when Luka in game 2 hit that game winner, he had turnovers in the fourth quarter. But this series, he made good decisions. He was only, 5 of 19 or something from the field, but that three to Conley was a fantastic decision. They would throw two on the ball at him because he would hunt Luka Doncic a lot this series, and they would blitz him, and he would make the simple pass. And that makes a big, big difference. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. He had a couple games where he had 0 turnovers, and overall passing was exceptional. Julius Randle, who doesn't have a long playoff history. He hasn't been in the playoffs many of times before this series, but doesn't have a good playoff track record. He was absolutely fantastic. He was efficient. He hit the three, and I thought all his attacks were smart. When there was a mismatch, he wasn't taking like a fadeaway jump shot, which is sometimes something he does sometimes. He was getting to the basket. He was finishing. He was defending. He was defending Luka. He was defending LeBron. He's an inconsistent defender. Off ball, you could cut behind him. You could cut in front of him. Because sometimes his off ball defense wasn't all the way there. But man, did he have a fantastic series. Offensively, defensively, I thought he was really, really good. And then Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert gets made fun of a lot. Why? I don't particularly know. I think Rudy Gobert is a fantastic player. I really think he is. A lot of his playoff warts aren't necessarily his fault. Let's be completely honest. It's not necessarily his fault. Utah getting played off in the playoffs. Utah had really bad perimeter defenders, so he had to cover for everything. And offensively, he couldn't punish nobody because he's not an offensive player. You could throw it into him, even in this series. If you would throw the ball to him and he would lose the ball, he would get stripped, or he wouldn't finish well. In this series, he was able to actually dominate. 27 points, 24 rebounds in a closeout game. It's the best game I've ever seen him play. Not even just in the playoffs, ever. He was absolutely fantastic. He was dominant. If he can do this against other small lineups, they're gonna play the winner of this next series that we're gonna talk about, Rockets Warriors. If they play the Warriors, for example, if he can do that, then the Warriors are in real, real big trouble. He's never been able to dominate the way he dominated against the Lakers because offensively he's not good. But 9 offensive rebounds, I believe, just put back dunk, offensive rebounds, taking chance points, dominated that paint area. Best game ever for a guy who gets made fun of a lot. I hope everybody could shut up. He was great. Warriors, Rockets, guys. That game 7 is tonight. Warriors blew that game 6. I know game 5 was a whole thing, but game 6 was the problem for me. I'm a little worried about the Warriors defense. We'll get into it. Their role players need to step up. And Steve Kerr, please start the regular starters. Your 3 main guys, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Moses Moody, and Brandon Pajemski. Start those guys. I understand after game 2, or even during game 2, you have to switch up the lineup a little bit because of the Jimmy Butler injury. And I know you started Buddy Hield due to the fact that Buddy Hield guards Şengün and you want to get Şengün on as much actions as possible. But start the guys who got you all the way to the 7th seed. Like, they're 18-3. That starting lineup is like 18-3. Start those guys, please. And the role players, Pajemski, or even Draymond offensively. Draymond has been really good defensively this series. He's been awful offensively. And I know he's not an offensive player, but he's not this bad. Moses Moody, please finish on the inside. Like, I'm not, in the game 7, in the playoff series, in the playoff game, I'm not worried about Steph. I'm not worried about Jimmy Butler. I'm worried about where they're going to get all the rest of their offense from. They need to consistently be able to hit open threes, open shots, take it to the basket. My God, like, why y'all so afraid to get to the basket? You're not going to get to the free throw line. You're not going to get fouled. You're not going to generate open shots if you don't get to the basket. And I feel like they're so scared to get to the basket so many times. Like, take your guys off the dribble, cut, pass, get 2 feet in the paint, and make a play. They're not incapable of doing that. They just don't do it. And that's a problem. And then the Warriors, stop turning the ball over. Like, there are length. The Rockets have length. They're gonna swipe. They want to force turnovers. They want to get on a fast break. So don't throw sloppy passes. If somebody's not open, don't pass it to them. That too many turnovers for them. When they don't turn the ball over, the Warriors are gonna be really, really hard to beat. They have to do that. They have to not turn the ball over. Their defense is a little worrisome. Fred VanVleet was awful the first 3 games of the series. These last 3 games, he's been fantastic. And a big problem is they're leaving him wide open over and over again. I don't know if that's a coaching thing. I don't know if that's the players thing. But please, whoever's guarding Fred VanVleet, Brandon Pajemski, whoever, stop leaving him open. Sometimes Şengün is on the block and Draymond would be on him and Brandon Pajemski would dig in and help off of Fred VanVleet, and then boom, Fred VanVleet gets a wide open 3. Like, what are you doing? You can't do that.
And you're up 8 and Steph Curry hasn't scored. Steph Curry creates a lot of shots for the Warriors without ever touching the ball.
They need to guard Fred VanVleet. He's been killing you for 3 straight games and I haven't seen any adjustments. Guard him. He's too comfortable now. The Rockets, the last few games, have figured something out offensively and they just look way more comfortable. The Warriors aren't forcing as many live ball turnovers. They're not getting out on the break. They're not containing dribble penetration that well. Like, their defense the first few games of this series was good. Their defense the last couple games, not good. You make them uncomfortable. Like, if their offense struggles when their other role guys don't consistently hit shots. But their defense cannot fall off a cliff. Their defense can't take a step down. They got to be able to guard. And they haven't been doing that consistently well. They need their role players to step up. Please. Steve Kerr, change your starting lineup. Start the starters that got you to the 7th seed in the first place. And maybe you'll win. Get loose balls too. Get the loose balls. Stop giving up offensive rebounds. It's hard. You're a small team. I get it. But you have to put in effort to get the offensive rebounds. You have to do that. I don't know who's going to win. I had Warriors in 6 in this series. They disappointed me. Maybe Warriors in 7, but the Rockets have all the momentum. And they're probably favored in this game when they deserve to be. Last but not least, we're going to quickly touch on the Cavs-Pacers series, the second round series that's starting today. Actually, right before the Rockets-Warriors game 7. A couple things that we'll get to. Both teams are rested because Cavs are coming off a sweep. The Pacers are coming off a 5-game series against the Bucks where they won. Both these teams can score. I think both these teams can score on each other. They both play fast. They both generate a lot of wide open looks for each other. Cavs are a good 3-point shooting team, and they generate a lot of good wide open shots for Max Strus, for Donovan Mitchell, for Evan Mobley, Max Strus, like whoever. Tyrese Halliburton, I think he can slice and dice this defense. Darius Garland, who I don't even know if he's gonna play because of the toe injury. I'll look up after the game and I'll edit it in myself, future version of me. Don't forget that. But I think he can attack their guards. Obviously, Mitchell and Garland aren't great defenders. Better, but they're not great. And obviously, Halliburton can get everybody wide open shots. Siakam, he got to cook. You got to cook. I don't know how he's going to cook. Evan Mobley's going to be guarding him. But Siakam, this is going to have to be a really big Siakam series. Because they have enough to throw off Halliburton. And besides Evan Mobley, I don't know. I mean, Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade, but Pascal Siakam is better than both of them. He got to be able to cook. They got to be able to generate wide open threes, knock down those wide open threes. I'm wondering their backup situation. When Miles Turner's on the bench, who's playing the 5? Obi Toppin? It can't be Thomas Bryant. They're going to continuously attack Thomas Bryant. That's my one concern for the Indiana Pacers is once Miles Turner goes to the bench, who the hell is going to be guarding Allen or Mobley, whichever 5 is on the floor at the time? That's going to be a really, really big thing I'm going to be looking for because Thomas Bryant is too slow-footed. Jarris Walker, I don't know if he's ready to play. Obi Toppin might be your best answer, but he's also someone that can't get attacked on defense because he's also not laterally that quick, as athletic as he is. This is going to be an interesting series. I think this will be very pleasing on the eyes. These first-round series have been extremely physical, and it's been really, really tough when the score is 96-97. It's been fun, but goddamn, so many missed shots, so many turnovers, so many guys getting hurt and getting injured and falling on the floor. But both these teams are really good offenses. Both these teams have fantastic ball movement. Both these teams again can score on each other. Indiana has been a good defense this year, and so has the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers have been better. I do have Cavs in 6. I think Cavs are just deeper and better than the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers are a really, really good team. I just think that they shoot threes better. The Cavs, they shoot threes better. They have a better, deeper roster. I think they have a lot more athleticism at the wing spots, like DeAndre Hunter, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley. I don't know what the Pacers can do to really limit the Cavs' offense. We'll see, but I do think the Cavs are going to win in 6. All right, that was a lot. This video is going on 38 minutes long. We touched on all the series that I wanted to touch on. Obviously, look for more videos. The second round is going to start. We have Knicks, Celtics, obviously Cavs, Pacers. We'll see who plays the Minnesota Timberwolves on Tuesday. Denver, OKC, a bunch of good first round matchups. A bunch of good second round matchups. And we're going to talk about that as the time goes on. But that's all I have for you today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep building a community. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.